And we are ready for the grand finals of the HCS Off-Season number 2. It is Rush Hour versus GBX, who are the contenders for the biggest size of the prize pool tonight. Why not Tony? Why not Active? Wait, why not Tony and Active? Our first map is King of the Hill Solitude, and we have a little bit of a what is it you called it, Tony? Emotion. There's emotions in the air.
And it ain't love, let me tell you. I promise you that. It's two teams that want to win, and again that have so much to prove right now. Rush Hour coming out of the winner's side. GBX having to go through 2 best-of-5 series. Active, I hope you're ready. This could be a long one.
Yes, sir, I am ready. Lots of drama in this match. Gonna be probably lots of bowing, like you like to call it, Tony, in this match as well. We'll see what exactly happens here. It's gonna be Renegade against Monster. Nice little shot there, utilizing the camo and the shock rifle.
Loving this. Dangerous combination in the game here in Halo Infinite. It is Renegade, and he's already scary when he doesn't have either one of these two, but now able to take down last shot. Right up to the top gold side he goes. The call outs are in. He's trying to capitalize on it. Trying to dissect, but doesn't expect Cycle to just thrust it out of nowhere, but nothing can slow down the demon. Nothing can slow down Renegade.
I have a feeling this is going to be a very quick one. There's some angry players on the side of GBX, and you're seeing it in the gameplay thus far. 2 down for Rush Hour, and they're going to try to come off a spawn, but a great job by Renegade. You see how fast he isolated that spawn onto Cycle, took him out, and they're about to cap this hill.
Man, people don't think of Renegade as a momentum-driven player, but think about like all the pop-offs he has. Like, it sometimes start off a little bit slow, but it just takes 1 kill that turns to 2, that turns into a multi-kill out of nowhere. When this man is at his best, he may just be the best player in the game. Renegade 6-0 right now, bound, able to clear out a perimeter side as we go down for Rush Hour. You already lost 1 hill, now you're in danger of losing a second.
They've already got control, and this is what we call a money hill as well. It's a very easy hill to cap, and you see all 3 players of Rush Hour trapped on the snipe side. Camo is coming up, but again, it's about how much of the map GBX already has.
Tusk wins his battle against Monster. Renegade does take down Collect, and it's Falcated that emerges through all the chaos looking for the camouflaged Cycle. But how much can Cycle do right now as he's by himself waiting for his teammates to come off a spawn? Now that his teammates are on the map, he wants to make his presence known, wants to have an impact, but Falcated with the camo eyes is going to find him, deal with them. Has he created enough of a distraction for the 3 to push through the cafe side and drive GBX out?
That was really well said, Tony. That's exactly what Cycle was a distraction. You saw all 3 push from blue, and they break into the setup, and unfortunately it doesn't last very long. 2 down already for Rush Hour. It'll be the 2nd hill capped for GBX.
Not looking good here for Rush Hour. Something's going to have to change, and although I will say they just got slayed out, they just lost the hill. I mean, they're spawning on the opposite side of the map, so now they have an opportunity to get a bit of a head start onto this next one. Some shots in the back for Tusk, but Tusk still able to finish off the one-shot player. Now challenging last shot, confident, and a tiny window, just a little bit.
Windmills happen, especially when it's windy, you know, but I never shoot windmills, Tony. I'm a perfect shot.
Okay.
All the time. But regardless, it's 2 caps to 0 once again. Cycle's got a bit of a chance to change things with that shock, but he ends up losing that. GBX get Rush Hour 3 down, and like I said, it's continuously a steamroll here. Very angry is GBX, and they're showcasing that. Tusk now with a shock in his hand.
Explosive push coming out of GBX, but Tusk not able to connect with that shot onto Cycle, and last shot picking things up over toward the cafe side. This shock is going to be dangerous here for GBX. If there's a chance for Rush Hour to take their first hill, it's going to be on the back of this power weapon. Almost losing out on that fight there. Somehow able to connect, but enough damage has been done for Renegade to capitalize on it. Collect still with the shock. Rush Hour not scoring just yet, and those nades are raining down.
Now, you talked about Renegade a little bit and how, you know, him being a momentum player and all of that. I think there's just a switch that he flips when grand finals come on. I mean, the guy's 12-4 in this game thus far. Definitely having a really good start to his grand finals, and you can see GBX once again in that hill getting time.
As of right now, Cycle the only player on Rush Hour in double digits, and it's going to be tough for them to deal with the slaying power of GBX. They all got to step up, and that includes Monster with the double kill. Renegade gonna try to challenge over toward the low side, but somehow Last Shot is ready for him, and now Renegade forced to back down. That doesn't happen often. Monster now on the chase, going in for the challenge, but Renegade takes him down. Back-to-back kills for GBX. Rush Hour had all the advantage in the world. Now it's gone.
Speaking of windmilling, shot a little bit shaky right there. And, you know, we talked about a bit of drama that occurred in the last matchup. I think, you know, that whether or not it's true, it doesn't matter. It also puts a lot of pressure on you mentally, Tony, where you're like, okay, you know, if he's not doing what they suspect him of doing, and you know, now he's got a little bit more pressure on his head. He's a little bit more stressed out, a little more anxiety, and it makes things a little bit more difficult as well. But while all that being said, it's Rush Hour 3 down. They have a bit of hill time in this hill, but GBX still in control.
Yeah, it is a great point. You know, no matter how you feel about that tweet, the one thing it has done is it'll get in the head of your opposition, and so far it has done literally just that. Right now, GBX playing a bit of mental warfare against their opponent. Renegade curve sliding his way out into the open. Monster gonna make him pay for that one. 3 eventually going down for GBX. Falcon not able to get away with his life. Rush Hour take over, and they may take their first hill.
Yeah, it's a bit of slaying that's coming out from the side of Rush Hour. They're starting to hit their shots. They're starting to slay just a bit more, and it's allowing them to get this hill time. But now Bound has his hands on the camo. We saw what he was able to do last time when he had this.
Wow. Rush Hour get absolutely wiped, and I don't even know if there's enough time on this hill for Rush Hour to come in, slay out, and somehow take it over. That is highly unfortunate if you are a fan of Rush Hour. Meanwhile, if you're a fan of GBX, you're up 3-0.
Yeah, this is really a rough start, especially in game number 1. You never want to come into this grand finals and come up flat. I mean, I definitely think we're going to see 2 best-of-5s here if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, that's what I would expect. GBX have come out with a lot more firepower, and I would assume going to slay out for the rest of this minute and 38 seconds.
I got to nickname this guy. I think I did it back in season 1. We got to bring it back, man. The Silent Assassin is falcated, because no matter who's on his team, who's on the as the opposition, he will always silently just be fragging out. It ain't flashy, but I promise you it gets the job done. When it comes to simply stacking up kills, keeping his debts low, Falcated is one of the best at it, and he does so again kind of while flying under the radar. 16-11 right now, 7 assists to go along with it. As he gets his shields back, Tusk is going to be that shield, and he comes in as the sword on the attack, but Rush Hour simply ready for that one. 3 quickly going down for GBX. Could this finally be Rush Hour's first hill?
Gonna need to slay a little bit. They do get 2 down on the side of GBX. Cycle's in a position to maybe fend back the push, but there's a lot of players pushing on the loop side. He's gonna milk some time regardless, and I love how he's trying to take space here. This is good. He's done a bit of damage as well. Not bad by Cycle in that situation. This could be hill number 1 for the side of Rush Hour.
Camouflage snatched up by Bound. And every time we say Rush Hour getting dangerously close to taking their first hill, some way, somehow, GBX clutch it out, and now Rush Hour forced to make a dangerous cross, spawning on the opposite side of the map, having to try to cross when you have the shooters that GBX have locking down every single angle. 35 seconds right now. Rush Hour, you're close. But what do they say? With close, no cigar? I don't know what it is.
Regardless if they even get this hill, I mean, there's only 25 seconds to get 2 more to even tie it up. It's going to be extremely tough here. You see Cycle once again making his patented push towards the yard BR, but gets taken out pretty quickly there, and it's just 1 by 1 with 12 seconds left.
It ain't over until I start singing, so I don't know what you're talking about right now. I see time on the clock, so I know that it's...
Triple kill.
Just waiting to hear those lungs pop. There it is. This is gonna be a long one, Tony. I definitely assume that we're gonna get a reset here.
What an explosive start there from GBX, guys. For a second there, we saw a little bit of life coming from Rush Hour, but it was almost a little bit too late. There was 1 minute left when they were about to cap their first hill. Tony, how do we break this down?
I mean, I don't gotta break it down. It was Rush Hour that's getting broken down enough, man. I mean, GBX putting on an absolute clinic. And the crazy part about it is when you looked at Rush Hour's performance, how many times did we talk about after that first hill that Rush Hour were so close to closing it out, to tying things up, or to putting their first when they were down 2-0, and it was GBX that clutched it out every single time. And I feel like that in itself has to be a mental game as well, to be that close to capping 2 hills and having it stolen from you. And then even that final hill, again, they had the entire setup, 1 round of slays, and that was it. 35 seconds on the clock, you get spawn sniped. It's, I mean, as a competitor, I can't even imagine what would be going through my head.
Yeah, it's rough, honestly. I'm sorry. I was just going to respond to what Tony said. I mean,
go for it.
What's going through your head in that situation is like, what did we do wrong? How did we just toss those hills that we had a potential to get? And then you start overthinking things a little bit, and that's when the whirlwind starts to happen. It's tough.
So how do you bring it back? How do you reset? Because we're going into a Slayer, GBX versus Rush Hour. They have to think this through.
I love to start it off, but I want to throw that question right at you, Active. How do you bounce back, please?
You just got to solidify yourself mentally and just say, okay, that game is over. We made mistakes. You know, I don't even necessarily think that these players like talk about what needs to change. If there are jarring things that need to change, it's not going to happen from one game in a series to another. But there's, you know, some minimal changes that can happen. Maybe a bit more small talk that needs to occur. But at the end of the day, you slow down, take a deep breath, take on the next match, and forget that last one.
And you know, you're my brother. And, you know, I got much love for you. You know, my best friend. You already know we family.
Yes,
and
sir.
But I gotta call you out when you're out here flexing for the gram. When you're out here lying to the people at home, because you talked about when you're in a situation like this, you start overthinking. I've watched your gameplay. You've never put a thought into while playing. Like not a singular one. There's not one brain cell that is working when you're playing. It is hold forward and challenge everything. 11-7 lead in favor of GBX right now. Renegade is 3-1. Oh, I just cast his curse him. That's his second death.
Yes, it's the curse of being able to shoot. You just hold forward and shoot. It's hard, man. I wish I could stop. You think as I get older, you get wiser, but that's not the case. Just continue to hold forward. My W key is faded out, but 14-9, like you said, a bit of a lead here for GBX, but still a chance for Rush Hour.
And again, the Silent Assassin and Falcade, again, quietly 6-3 right now with 1 assist to go along with it. I've said it all the way back in Season 1 since the first tournament. I was told he was going to be the most underrated player in the league. And I would say, I think it was right. I mean, if not the most underrated player, definitely the most underrated Slayer from Season 1. Now he's on everyone's radar, so he don't get man-to-man. They play zone, they got to double team him, and somehow he's still able to stuff that stat sheet. 16-12 lead. GBX have control.
A little bit of a comeback happening, though. It's 1 kill at a time that allows these comebacks to happen. Thankfully, Bound was taken out right there. The movement king of the game has been that for a long period of time. I'd say since day 1 of Halo Infinite. And the shock rifle, unfortunately, falls out of the hands of Cycle. So there's a couple of what we like call win conditions in the hands of Rush Hour, but one by one, they're being tossed away.
21-17, Tusk. Only 3 kills to his name right now, but with this grapple, he's looking to put down some damage. The problem is that by the time he grapples in, everybody's dead around him. One that he has to deal with him, his former teammate in Monster, and Monster will win a pivotal battle, opening things up just a bit and putting them back within just 3 kills, 4.
And again, it's from the mental side of things, you know, having anxiety or whatever, not sure what's going on in Mental's head or what's even going on in his room right at this moment in time. But I do know that winning that piv for him is huge. It gives you a bit more confidence in your game, and you can kind of spiral that into something more. It's only a 5-kill lead for GBX.
Falcon gonna reposition away from the tower side, but Moon walks his way into Monster. Monster making him pay for that one. Renegade going right in, and now it's a bit of a cleanup battle, but one that leads GBX 3 down and Renegade by himself. Collect wants to introduce himself. Renegade wants to find the exit.
Yeah, see, you see Renegade playing such an aggressive position all the time, but there's a situation like that where he knows the spawns are coming out from C and he backs up. And that's what makes Renegade such a good player. He knows when to play in that fast-paced position, but he also knows when he's outnumbered and he needs to back off towards his teammates.
Dude, Renegade's movement is crazy. Bro, that was the fact that he got out of tower into bot. Dude, that was absolutely insane. Now, eventually, it does end up leading to a death. But again, I blame the caster, not the player. Falcated, laying down the law. And I believe he burnt that camouflage. So, although going down, that is a huge burn, denying a piece of utility away from the opposition.
Yeah, burning that camo, if he did, was huge. And the shock rifle's still in play, but it's a situation where he won a very big piv, and that changes the game. When you can burn that camo like that, take it out of the hands of the enemy team, it allows yourself in a situation to maybe come back in this game. And it's only a 3-kill lead now for GBX. Definitely a chance for Rush Hour to come back, but you got to get this shock rifle out of Bound's hands.
That was a huge play by Bound, and now we switch over towards Cycle, chasing down Falcated and Rush Hour. Every single time GBX look to try to put some distance between them and the scoreboard, they find a way to climb right back into it. Now, just down by 1 kill. Cycle with this shock is an absolute danger, a menace to not only society, but GBX. Could somebody call this man out? He's going out of control. Cycle putting the enemy team on a cycle, and Rush Hour have taken the freaking lead.
I haven't said it in a long time, but that's flow state right there, just pushing with his teammate, has the shock rifle, hitting some beautiful shots, and he continues to do so. Another shot, another kill, a killing spree here for Cycle.
Just when you thought that Cycle and Rush Hour may have been out of it early in the game, they've taken the lead at a pivotal point of that. 41-38 right now, single digits away from ultimately taking the win and tying up the series. Cycle 13-7, 7 assists to go along with it, and Renegade awfully pushed forward here over toward the glass side. He recognized the situation, also recognizes that Monster overextends just a bit. Nice little strafe out of Monster, even better shots out of Renegade. GBX back in the driver's seat as it's 41 all, and Rush Hour make it 42.
Again, another big kill by Cycle right there. Stays alive for a little bit of time, but it's a camo in the hands of Bound once again. This is the game in Bound's hands right now. What is he going to do with this camo?
Bound can't be found when he has the camo. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Easy kill coming in for Bound. Long range shots looking very good. Cycle nowhere to go but the black screen there. Sweet down once again. Go Rush Hour. One squad wipe away. It was looking a bit tough for GBX, but one round of Slays ends up snowballing in their favor. Ladies and gentlemen, they're up 2-0 in the series, 1 game away from resetting the bracket.
You said it, GBX just needs one more game and then they take it. The next one is CTF Fortress. We saw what happened here, Tony, in this Recharge Slayer. Both teams are, you know, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost neck to neck. But then there's a little bit of an edge to GBX tonight.
I mean, they coming in different. And I talked about it, man. When things are going in the favor of a player like Renegade and Bound, they start feeling themselves. They start moving a bit different. They're in their flow state, as my brother Active would say. They look damn good. And mind you, when they get to the grand finals, when the lights are brightest, they kick it up another notch. So GBX are here, Rush Hour. You better figure it out.
Active. What can they do? What can the other team do? Rush Hour need to step up. We saw Cycle get into that flow state, like Tony said. What can they do here in the CTF Fortress?
Well, you saw in that last match, that was the last play where Bound got camo. Control the power-ups, control both snipes on both sides. That's going to give you a little bit of a better chance. You don't want those power-ups or power weapons to go into the hands of GBX because they're going to get max value out of them every single time.
Only one more game, Tony. Look at this map. Have you decided what this map looks like? To me, it looks like Skyrim.
I mean, it plays very similarly to like to a Sanctuary. Not exactly Skyrim, but you know, double snipers. You know, getting towards a perimeter and locking it down. It's a map that. It's not my favorite style, you know, similar to Argyle. It's gonna get a little stalematey. If you have a sniper in your hands, you're having a great time. If you don't, you know, it can get tough. And if you get both snipers, good luck.
I 100% agree. I like the map. I do think it gets stalematey as well. These snipes and that ring control, those are the most important factors. You're going to push through arches essentially as well and force the spawns. But, I mean, you see GBX once again. They've got control of tower. They've got control of the snipe. And there's that stalemate you're talking about. But those 2 kills potentially activate. And another kill goes in. 3 down for Rush Hour.
Both snipers momentarily going down, and as they both get picked up by the opposition and repositioning, and now you're trying to figure out where did the snipers go. Well, Falcon's gonna waste all the ammo out of that one. GBX are gonna end up going 3 down, and that means Rush Hour going to attack the 50% portion of the map.
And that was 3 down for GBX. I absolutely love this. And like you said, attacking that 50% portion, making sure to push up into their base and apply pressure. They're not ready for it either, which is so good. If Rush Hour can get a couple more kills here, this will be a flagpole.
Clutch has always been the type of player where I don't even care what his stats say. Like, he's always going to have maximum impact on the map. Some way, shape, or form, his presence is going to be known. Like, he's going to create chaos. He's going to do damage. If he has a lot of deaths, I don't care, because I believe his team is able to activate through that. Also, I love the way that Tusk is playing this angle, baiting out that flag just a bit, but with no more sniper to work with, will this flag continue to move?
Yeah, so this is where things get a bit interesting. There's a flag in the bottom center ring, and there's an OS coming up as well. Cycle's in prime position for both of them, but he's caught out. And this is what's big. GBX gets this OS. They get this flag return. This could be bad for Rush Hour.
Double push out of Rush Hour. Not able to capitalize on that, but luckily Last Shot does get an overshield that gets obliterated. No more shields to work with. He ends up touching the flag, giving up his life in order to do so, but how fast is Tusk and GBX on the return? The counter nades come in and absolutely creating chaos. I said it before and I'll say it again. Collect creates it. He grabs a hold of that flag. Renegade does as much as possible to try to take down Cycle, and somehow that flag goes home. That was freaking Halo. Oh my gosh.
I absolutely love that right there too, because you see that flag, they utilized OS to put that flag into the bonfire, and what that allowed was those bank nades off the door to kill anyone that was going for that return, and that's what allowed that flag cap to go in. That was absolutely beautiful out of Rush Hour. They up by 1.
1-0 lead in favor of Rush Hour at the moment here, and Bound wanted to try to push up onto a 1v1, ends up to a 1v20. Look like Drake out here. Good God. Monster finds his way past that 50% portion here. Tusk does clear out at least one, and actually multiple starting to fall. So although Collect and Monster found himself on the base of GBX, Tusk right now is creating absolute chaos here. The damage that this man is laying down. Who said he's going to coach him, man? He needs to keep playing.
Yeah, it's really good to have a coach that can play at this level too. I mean, it's so important as players to trust in your coach. You know, any play call that's made, especially in a very tense tournament situation. And Tusk is one of those players where, you know, like if he's making a call out, you trust it, because he can play like this if he wants to. He can pick up the controller and fight like the best.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been an in-game leader while he plays, so if he does end up switching over to a coaching role, as the rumors say, you know, having him free up his hands and be able to really focus on the macro, focus on, you know, what's going on everybody's point of view, he might just be one of the best coaches in the game right now. One of the best players in this game right now, because he just almost single-handedly slayed Rush Hour enough to open up another capture here for GBX. One more cap, and we are seeing a sweep.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I absolutely love that you said that too. That entire 2 caps was Tusk. I mean, the snipes were so clean. He forced spawns. I mean, absolutely beautiful out of him. And look, it's GBX pulling another flag while Tusk stays on top of the tower and starts pelting shots.
Monster, the final player alive here for Rush Hour. Wanted to stop that flag from being pulled, but there's nothing he can do. It's just too much firepower coming right at him. Flag continues to move forward. Slays continue to go down, but it's Rush Hour to end up going 3 down here. Bound to 17-7. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I should have been talking more about that. Good God.
Yeah, he's not happy. He is not a happy man. He brought out tournament bound here for this online cup for $1,000, and he's definitely playing like it. You love to see that. Out of bound, they're not able to cap that third flag, and this could be a counter cap here by Rush Hour. They've got 2 down. Is it enough?
Notice positioning here from I almost said Michael Monster. I love that. Able to do enough damage onto the players that were trying to cross, maybe alleviating some of that pressure for his teammates to be able to continue to move this flag forward, but it stopped for just a moment. A flag is now pulled. We got a bit of a stalemate on our hands. Both teams needing this return as Collect takes a bit of a low ground position and wants to work with last shot.
Work with last shot, get his own kill on the Falcated as well, and with OS coming up, it's a 1v1 Collect versus Bound in the ring 1, and that's a tie game, 2-2. They trade in ring 1. And that allows Monster to walk in. Can Monster get this OS? This next OS is everything in this game. Falcated scoops it up.
GBX one capture away from ultimately taking this series and forcing the bracket reset. Rush Hour one cap away from staying alive here. They want to end it in 1, but right now it's not looking good, especially when Falcade is coming at you with an overshield and a sniper combination. Collect, that's a good option. Run away, because this man is on your freaking tail. Oh, God.
Run away is all you can do, but run to the black screen is all they can do. It's 3 down, and Falcated continues to hit shots. This is the final flag, and this is going to be a reset, Tony.
Ayo, LVT, throw a 3 up on the board up high. This game is absolutely over. Put a fork in her. We're done, and we're going to a bracket reset.
GBX meant business, and they came here to send Rush Hour home, but they got to do another series, like you said, Tony, to be able to do so. Tony, can they do so? They already won 3 games. They can certainly do another 3, but Rush Hour, that's a question for another time. Can they do it?
I mean, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Luis. When I called put a 3 up top, he did. Like, it was like so quick.
You did? I missed
Shout
it.
out. Yo, W production in the chat, please. And I mean, not only, you know, fresh off of a bracket reset, are you thinking, yeah, can this team win? Of course. Like, they're coming out with so much energy. You know, at no point in time did they look lethargic coming out of the lower bracket. You know, maybe because the best of 3s, they're not as tired as they would normally be if they're going through best of 5s. But on top of that, the way they just dominated that first series in the grand finals, like, if anybody in their right mind is looking at this and saying, oh, they don't have a chance of winning, you're an idiot. Like, they're like GPX just put on an absolute clinic, and momentum is real in Halo.
I want to call out that this is also not the first time they've seen each other today. Obviously, this is a rematch, and now we're gonna get another one, a third series with these 2 teams active. Rush Hour, they need to turn on the engines, and they better work fast. They gotta run. I'm trying to find it funny. I'm not gonna get at this. I just Rush Hour. What can they do? They already won 1 series against GBX. That's why we got some emotions high. You know.
Yeah.
Can they bring that back?
I don't know. I don't think so. And there's one reason why. Actually, there's 2 reasons why. One reason is Tusk. One reason is also Falcated. You're talking about the 2 guys that probably get the least attention on this GBX roster. The spotlight is constantly on Bound and Renegade. But you're seeing how Tusk and Falcated are both performing in these matches. They are carrying these matches. There are caps that are happening because of snipes out of Falcated, snipes out of Tusk. I mean, if Tusk and Falcated are popping off like they are, and you also have Bound and Renegade on the roster, I just don't see a world where this momentum is stopped. This train is going to continue to pile through whatever's in front of it.
Well, anything can happen. It is Halo, Tony. If there were something to happen, who would be the key player to stand out from Rush Hour to make it happen?
I mean, for me, it would have to be Cycle. And, you know, I love the duo with Cycle of Last Shot. You know, I talked about earlier what Colette can do, you know, as an individual, the impact that he has on the map. And Monster has been running face-to tournaments for a while, man. The man is that damn good. When he's comfortable, he's one of the best here. And but for me, it's like there's something about Cycle's gameplay that I feel like when he's playing well, I think it's easier for the team to really play off of that. Like when he has great stats, he's putting down shots, he's staying alive, he's picking and choosing his battles perfectly. I talk about he's one of the youngest players in the league, but he plays like an experienced veteran. So for me, I'm looking at Psycho. I know that's a lot of pressure to put on him, but hey, the spotlight's here. Like him in last shot, like low key, last year you ran under the radar. You exceeded expectations, but now you're on a team with World 2. You're on a team with Frosty. Like, this is a situation where you're like, it's championship or bust. It's grand finals or bust. If you're getting below top 3, there's going to be people really out there, and they're going to be blaming you. Like, the spotlight was already bright last year, but they have no idea how bright it's going to be this year, because we're talking about real championship expectations out of both of these two young men. So I'm looking at Psycho. I'm also looking at both of them as a duo. There's a long way of me answering your question.
No, I think is perfect. Active. How do you feel about Tony's thoughts here? I feel like Cycle already went on an incredible flow state earlier. He was doing some really insane plays, and there is a world where I do see these duos popping off here tonight.
Yeah, I love Cycle as a player, Last Shot as a player. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I think that what Tony said is true. I think this is the start of the season. Although it is an off-season tournament, this is kind of where you start to get into the swing of things again. You get back on the horse. You start to gallop through the competition. I think Cycle and Last Shot with a win here gives them a lot of confidence going into this next season. I think it's also some reps for them as well. They can kind of look at this and improve as players, as they've done in the entire offseason in matchmaking, or if they ended up doing any scrims. Regardless, I think this is good practice, and again, it's a good way to show out if you can come back in this series, in this Grand Finals reset.
Someone we haven't really talked a lot about tonight has been Collect, and I believe, Tony, it's been you who said, many people have said that Collect is an underrated player. He's here on Rush Hour. We don't even know where he's going to land on year 4 in an org yet. Where do you see Collect and how his position here is tonight?
I think no matter where he goes, he's going to have maximum impact, and that's kind of what I talked about last game was, Collect's the type of player where I trust what he's doing. He's having maximum impact on the game. Like, the way, if you watch his screen, it's freaking crazy. He's putting down damage. If he's dying, it's because he's damaged 3 people and killed another one, and his teams end up putting him 4 down because of it. Like, when you watch Collect's point of view, it's organized chaos. It makes sense if you really know game, but you got to really be paying attention of him extracting every bit of value out of his life with the damage and chaos that he creates. So just like he has on the map, maximum impact, no matter what team he ends on, he's going to have a maximum impact on them as well.
Well, everybody, we are in the grand finals reset for the HCS Off-Season number 2. One of these two teams will take the biggest prize pool share of that $1,000. We're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back once these squads are ready to go.
You got me hypnotized. Just one look, I get lost in your eyes. You got me mesmerized. You playing tricks and messing with my mind. You got me hypnotized. You got me hypnotized.
And we are back with the grand final reset. It is these two, GBX and Rush Hour, who will be going head-to-head in this recharge. Stronghold, who will take the biggest size of the prize pool? We will find out. I was going to say tools. Why not an active takeaway?
Oh man, game number 1 after a bracket reset. It don't get any more exciting than this. GBX, in case you guys were missing it, GBX went on a crazy tear, 3-0ing and sweeping Rush Hour in the first series, but now there's no more chances. Rush Hour may have the opportunity to dig deep and maybe slow down GBX.
Yeah, it's the best thing they can do, right? They came out swinging a little bit of a decent start here in this game number 1 of the reset, but quickly that's turning on its head. You can see 2 caps already going towards the favor of GBX, but they do get 3 down. This might be an opportunity for some caps to be stopped.
38-0 start here for Rush Hour. Was it a bit of a rope-a-dope coming in out of Rush Hour, you know, making GBX think that they were ready to lose it, and then they come out hot in that secondary series. Right now, Cycle putting down some damage. Meanwhile, his teammates are going down left and right. Falcon are going to play forward first as his teammate tries to finish off Charlie. Can Rush Hour get in and stop? And love that play by Cycle. That man's crazy. He's not real.
Yeah, I really like the play by Cycle. He's controlling tower for that entirety of you know, those 30 seconds, and doing so, he allowed his team to get some space on the map. He, you know, defended some pressure from the C side, but unfortunately, it's not enough. It's continuous slays going in the favor of GBX, and a double cap for them as well as they score in this game.
53-22, Cycle. Gonna jiggle peek that battery side. No fear on the jiggle peek there. Meanwhile, I think I saw Camouflage coming up very soon. Probably why Cycle is getting awfully aggressive towards that mid-map, wins his battles, and did he just got Camo robbed by his teammate? Luckily, his team has full shield, so I'm actually not mad at that play, but both end up going down.
Yeah, it was a really good play by Cycle in last shot, though. We talk about them as a duo often. I think that play was really solid to at least secure that camo on their side. It's just, again, the pressure of GBX is just a bit too strong. And you see, the triple cap is locked in. There's a couple of isolated players on the map. This is where Rush Hour needs to solidify themselves and make sure not to let this triple cap go.
GBX holding on to both Alpha and Charlie. Normally a bit of a transitional hold, but we know there's squads that love holding on to this and spawn trap you over towards the goal side. Not sure that nade went exactly where he planned, or maybe it did. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, it was maybe 200 IQ play, get the spawn in the back like Ryan Noob. I mean, it's possible, but yeah, double cap still in effect here for Rush Hour. It's been a back and forth, but you see GBX, every time Rush Hour get a bit of a lead and they get a couple of points, GBX just come right back and put the game in their hands. And you see, it's once again 3, or make that 2 down for the side of GBX here.
Another Alpha and Charlie hold, but this time it's going to be Rush Hour that have it at the moment. Falcon is doing everything he can to stay alive, but eventually the nades force him out of that position into the headshot of Collect, and Collect throwing another excellent grenade to obliterate the shields of Renegade. 3 quickly going down for GBX. Rush Hour have taken over once again.
I really love this play by Tusk, though. A great job of staying alive, and he gets the kill on the Collect. This is massive out of Tusk. He holds this entire side of the map on his own, and with camo coming up, this is exactly what you want him to do. He gets the stick as well. Tusk is on fire right now. Big plays out of him.
Bit of a Hail Mary out of Tusk there. Love that play. Because of that stick, Renegade was able to get away with the camouflage. Last shot, I think he just peeked, just caught a bit of that camo moving, but it's enough to see him. It's not enough to take him down.
Yeah, Renegade with a camo is a crazy thing, you know. Usually as a camo player, you try to guarantee the kills. You go for players that are weak. Renegade doesn't care. He just hits perfects. He just doesn't miss, and he doesn't matter who he's shooting with that camo. He's gonna make sure to put that damage in and stay alive, and he does just that.
I'm going to put on my best active impression. I'm going to do a little bit of color commentary because I thought that was actually incredible. Like the moment that Renegade crossed over from C-Plat over towards the luggage side, there's no way that you can cross without touching that hill. So he like touched it for a split second, Last Shot heard the audio cue and then turned immediately and gunned him down. That slight bit of audio of just barely touching it and not even taking Charlie was enough for Rush Hour to turn their attention, deal with the kills, and secure C. Still, Bravo and Charlie belong to GBX now, but just a little bit of tech there. Make sure you turn those Astros up.
You do a good job at my job. Maybe you can. Goodness me, you want to take it? Jeez.
No. You're the color commentator, man. I'm the diamond player. You're the former pro.
Stop. 2 caps here for the side of Rush Hour, and 126 to 90. So it's still a bit of a lead, and they're getting those slays. It's 4 down for GBX here. This is the opportunity where Rush Hour need to take space on the map, and they do. All the players are going to be forced on the long haul side.
Cross-map shots looking good. Last Shot, one of the best damage dealers that we have in the entire HCS. Triple cap locked down by Rush Hour. Cycle not able to finish off Tusk, but Tusk goes in for the reach out. That was an interesting one there. 3 quickly going down for GBX. Rush Hour still scoring.
All right, so Renegade's the problem right now. He's on the A side of the map on the elevator side. He got the off spawn. There's a couple of things he can do. He can try to get a kill and stay alive. Unfortunately, he goes down. It's 3 down for GBX once again, and Camo in the hands of Rush Hour. This is the chance for them to take over.
Rush Hour wasn't able to take a single game in that last series, but right now coming in with new energy, new light, and I'm loving every last bit of it. 3 go down once again for GBX. They're on the ropes, and right now Last Shot and Rush Hour moving in for some knockout blows. They continue to hold this trip cap. They continue to manipulate the spawns of GBX. GBX, where the freak are you?
Yeah, this next play is very important. You see them flanking towards the blue pipe side, and Collect is ready for it, but he ends up getting taken out. They have a 2-pronged attack on both sides of the map, and it's going to be successful. It's 2 down for the side of Rush Hour. Now they can get C, stop the bleeding just a bit.
Again, staggered spawn is being created here by Rush Hour, but a one-shot touch. There's no way he gets away with his life. Apparently not. Taken down. Renegade trying to find the exit himself. It's a 2v2 situation. Next play important. Collect knows well on the line and rips a double kill out of nowhere. 226 points for Rush Hour. Bound and GBX were able to get a hold of Alpha, but they are trapped here in the back A corner, exactly where Rush Hour won. 3 down once again go GBX, and 1 more round of slays, and that's gonna be all she wrote. What? Can somebody capture A? What's happening?
They all got off of A, but yeah, I mean, this is really interesting. They're dominating a lot of aspects of the game. One of them, you know, not necessarily being slays, but what they're doing with the slays, getting them all in tandem, making sure to force the spawns on the long haul. They got a lot of chunk of time off of that. It's still close. They're still not in it. They don't have the win just yet, I should say, but this Camo is a big factor. We'll see what Collect can do with it.
A perfectly timed curb slide allows Collect to fly out with that camouflage, and now emerges unseen and takes down Falcated because of it. So surprised that stick didn't connect, to be honest with you, but Collect gonna use that camo, get aggressive over toward the Bravo side, was spotted by Tusk, gets the shot. Wow. Just beautifully played by Collect. He's collecting the skulls of his enemy.
Yeah, I absolutely love the patience on that shot as well. You saw he needed to get that kill. Tusk was pushing towards B. He centers it, flicks the shot perfectly, gets the kill onto Tusk, kills him off a spawn. The back smack as well. Collect is on fire right now. 234 and counting here for Rush Hour.
Looks like they're moving in for the trip cap. Charlie's already being worked on. 3 did end up going down to GBX, spawning towards that long haul side. This is not where you want to be. Again, the final push. Can they get in the base in time? I don't think so. They run out of it. And Rush Hour not only taking game number 1, but taking the first game of this grand finals.
Collect making some game-winning plays there at the end, keeping B. Tony, he saved B. I feel like the shots that he got with the camo and that shock rifle were so pivotal to their play.
It really was. I mean, like, to have camouflage, I feel like, you know, as you know, I play this game a ton, and I feel like a lot of times in a situation I would be maybe pulled towards sitting towards batteries and trying to take a 1v1 fight when I have the bandit and try to take it. Hope I win it. But for him to have the patience to go in, jump and get that shock, come back in and use that shock because he knows the shock and camo is a dangerous combination. Like, I think that was huge, and one that maybe a lot of people wouldn't even think about doing in the moment, but that's what separates, you know, the pros from the Joes, really. Like, they're always thinking, their mind's moving at 100 miles a freaking minute.
I agree. Active, we gotta talk about it's the last shots. His KD, reading it out loud for you guys, was 21 and 12. He got 21 kills in this last game. Here we go. He picks up camo.
I absolutely love what Last Shot's been able to do. And again, the player who not only impresses me in his ability to play the game at a very high level, but also his mental. I love the confidence that he has, but I love the professional mental that he has as well. He's just very humble, but also very confident. That's a very fine line to take when you're, you know, a player of his caliber. And I think he rides that line really well. And showcases his skill with his gameplay and lets his gameplay talk. And it definitely talked that game.
I will say it looked like the teamwork on Rush Hour's end was so much better compared to the previous series we saw in that last game. But can they continue that into this Street Slayer, Tony?
I think they can. I mean, what we just saw in that game number 1 was just new life and new energy coming out of Rush Hour. And again, you guys hear me talk about it time and time again. You know, it's every cast we're talking about momentum. I feel like momentum is real. So after a performance like that in that game number 1, there may not be a shock rifle here in game number 2 on Streets, but there is a camo. There is a stalker. If you can cycle the enemy team the way you did in that objective, or do it in the Slayer, now you're up 2-0, and we're talking about magic being made.
Right, and here we go. Street Slayer. This is the grand finals reset, everybody. GBX versus Rush Hour.
I'm gonna have to eat my words, Tony. I didn't think Rush Hour had a chance in this series. I didn't think they were in a position to beat GBX, especially after how that last series went. That allowed this reset to happen. But I gotta eat my words. Rush Hour played really well in that game 1. My question is, are they gonna be able to continue it here in this game number 2? And there's one way to make it happen. It's to grab this camo and put it in Last Shot's hands.
Well, as the Halo community knows, my birthday's every day, so I've seen a lot of days, I've seen a lot of sayings, and there used to be a saying called "eat crow." And that was an old saying, and man, if you cook that crow just right, it'll taste like chicken. So eat those words, eat that crow, because right now Rush Hour taking over. Last shot with that stalker is what I was talking about, man. You put any power weapon in these young man's hands, and they are going to make it work. They're going to extract every bit of value. 9-7 lead, and Last Shot hasn't died a singular time just yet.
Yeah, the fact that he only had 1 shot left in the stalker and understood that all he needed was that shot to put enough damage in to get that kill was phenomenal. And as you said, a killing spree now, hasn't died yet. This is one of our players that we're talking about here, and oh my gosh, if there's one way to win this series, it is this way. 3 down, GBX.
Quick 3 down, and now the question is, what do Rush Hour do with it? Now you have the opportunity to block the more advantageous spawns, funnel the enemy team exactly where you want, and train those reticles on there, limit their movements, and that's exactly what you see. But GBX fighting right off of their spawn, taking down 1, and that slows Rush Hour just a bit. Camouflage still up for grabs, and Falcated, he wants his hands on it, and Last Shot wants his hands on him.
Unfortunately, he does go down there, but it's a nice little lead here for the side of Rush Hour. I don't know if that camo was burnt, but if it was, that's a big play by Monster. Can you withstand and hold this lead, though? Like you said, Tony, you made a good point. When you get the kills, it's all about what you do with those kills. What type of map presence you have, where you decide to formulate the push. 3 down once again, but this time it's in Rush Hour.
Just Last Shot's second death of the game right now. 7-2 with 3 assists. It's crazy. Right now, Renegade 7 and 4 right now with the camouflage. With that camo can turn into a whole lot more, but doesn't want to get spotted. I think Collect just barely saw him, so he's going to collect a bit of a new angle. Does Renegade, a one-shot monster, not going to be able to chase him any longer, and somehow Renegade will live long enough to reposition and get right back into another fight. GBX take control. They have a 1 kill lead.
I love how Renegade plays that camo. You see, you know, all pro players kind of play the camo, you know, in their own way. Renegade plays it as an aggressive tool to bait with and stay alive and just take a lot of attention from the enemy team. And he does it right there. All the while he's staying alive, his team is just pelting Rush Hour. And again, it's so beautiful to watch. But Rush Hour still maintain this lead of 2, and they'll continue to do so. As you can see, the top left of your screen, players continuing to fall.
Yeah, Rush Hour throwing a bit of a curveball there and really slaying out and just moving GBX from spawn to spawn. A perfect shots on a last shot that was beautifully played. A one-shot Renegade gonna survive courtesy of that repulse, and Cycle gets back down, and just like that, GBX are back in control. They may be down by 2 kills, but I thought he was gonna get frog. He looked like he's ready to leap. There it is.
There it is. 10 and 6 for Renegade. And talking a little bit about Last Shot, who's 13 and 5. Renegade's starting to heat up as well, in a great route. That little frog jump you talked about got him in a great position to flank the enemy team, and now we're tied up at 30.
Now somehow alive with this camouflage, and as he's trying to stay alive from one fight, wins another. Beautifully played by Bound. Collect gonna curve slide his way into another fight, but he has to deal with both Renegade and Tusk that are breaking their way through the beast their side. Just back and forth we go as far as the kills, and somehow Last Shot is still having a crazy game right now. 15 and 7. Bound aggressive onto 2 different players, and somehow looks comfortable while doing it. That is unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to that play from Collect, it's just a little bit of a miscommunication maybe of where the spawns are happening. It's a lot of information to know where your team is spawning, and you can kind of differentiate where the enemy team is spawning. Unfortunately, Collect not aware that they were on the B side, or that they pushed through the B side, so he gets taken out clearly there. But yeah, GBX, a 3-kill lead now, and with 2 down, they'll be able to stand strong and wait for the spawns to happen again.
We're talking a lot about the stats, but Bound, 12 kills and 11 assists. You know I love a stat line like that. When you're able to do it on both ends of the court, you know I'm a fan of that. Also love the fact that he's just keeping his teammate alive. Tusk tries to get out while one-shot and Bounce, making sure he's a distraction. He's the shield that's going to keep him alive, and Tusk lives to put down some more damage, but not long enough to stop Collect from getting a double kill. Almost a triple as Falcon gets that one, but it's a 42-38 game. Rush Hour need to start valuing their lives.
It's not over right now. Rush Hour have the momentum right in this game at the moment. Unfortunately, that momentum is squashed with that kill on the red room, but Monster does get the trade. Still 4 kills. Like you said, 12 and 12 here for Bound. You love to see that camo up right now. This is a turning point in the game.
Double kill.
Feels like Rush Hour, for a lot of this game, have been allowing GBX to dictate the pace, even off of spawn. It's GBX that kind of had their number. Now Rush Hour needs to start playing on their time, on their hour, and it's tied up at 44. This is what you're seeing. Rush Hour stepping it up in the clutch. I thought he was gonna pick up the Bulldog there. I was confused for a second. 45 all. The most important kill may just be next.
Yeah, like I said, that momentum, even though GBX was in the lead, Rush Hour was in control at that very point in the game, and they take that control and turn it into a tie. 45-45. Things are about to slow down heavily here in this game.
Psycho having an uncharacteristic like slow game. 4 and 11. I like the assist, sure, but this is really unseen territory for Cycle. And oh gosh, Renegade, he sees his opportunity and he's going to seize it. 49-47. You allowed Renegade to get that stalker rifle and the flank. Oh, that's not a winning formula, I promise you that. What do you got for me, Allie?
Well, my question is, going off of you, we talked about Cycle having an uncharacteristic game, and Active, you said that he's the one that had to step up. One of the players that had to step up on Rush Hour's side, but my actual question is, who is doing this to him? Who on the other team is stopping Cycle from being Cycle?
I mean, that very last play was something I really want to point out. If you just watch how Renegade moves in that last play, that's a player, and again, I know I use this word a lot, I'm so sorry, but it's a player that enters flow state. And when Renegade is in that flow, when he's feeling that good at the very end of this game, I just want you to watch his movement here, okay? And watch his shots. They are perfect. They are clean. He knows the game is in his hands, and he makes sure to close it out when he needs to the most. And that's what makes Renegade one of the best players in the game, and that's what makes it difficult for Cycle.
Tony, we have a tied game in a grand finals, a reset. It could be anybody's game. I feel like you talked about pace, you talked about dictating momentum here in this last game. Rush Hour was not dictating momentum at one point in the game, and at the end of the game, do you consider that they just weren't able to take that back?
Yeah, man, I think we saw some opportunities that could have been a bit improved, and this is not me trying to take anything away from GBX. I think GBX played fantastic. You know, Bound was doing on the kills and the assist department. Renegade went absolutely off. What was it, like 18 and 9, something crazy like that. But I think we also did see some opportunities where Rush Hour did slay out, and we were looking for a bit of a follow through. Like there was one point where they cleared out the map, spawned GBX over to the cafe side early, and then they were the first ones to go 2 down. It's like, well, in a situation like that, you either need to capitalize on it, turn that 4 down into, another 2 down into a 3 down, or just stay alive. Like it's your game, and you kind of threw away some of those. So just like I said, opportunities for improvement, but really on the backs of GBX just playing like freaking GBX. We're talking about Renegade, Bound, Falcated, and Tusk, Good God.
This could be anybody's game, guys. This is game number 3 of the grand finals reset. We're hopping on over to some King of the Hill live fire.
I'm ready. I love it when it gets live. I love when it gets fire. And we are here. It's GBX going up against Rush Hour. It's a swing. Game number 3 that we have on our hands. And dude, Bound's just challenging everybody. Good God.
Yeah, you got to give yourself that edge, right? We talk about the mental game all the time. There's a little bit of a micro mental game in the 1v1 individual fights. When you outgun someone, when you're no shields or half shields, you let them know, and they will know when they go to that death screen. So very important to win those fights sometimes. You just got to make sure it doesn't lose you the game.
Camouflage gonna be snatched up. Tusk and GBX already having control for just a bit, but notice the scoreboard. Rush Hour, a lot of time here, just past the 50% portion of this first hill, so GBX are gonna really need multiple round of slays if they're going to steal this one away. But I feel like I've read this book before. I feel like I've seen that where Rush Hour close to taking hills and GBX do what GBX do.
Yeah, it could be like a lot of the resources sent towards that camo side allows them to get all that little bit of time, You got to choose between camo or the hill. But now it's the fight back from GBX. They can't really fight back, though, can they, Tony? They're 3 down.
Snipe in the hands of Collect. Monster with a huge kill onto Tusk off screen here. And now it's Collect that's going to have this sniper combination over toward the green side. Going to sit down low. Oh, jumps up, just barely miss out that no scope. GBX are gonna neutral that hill, but the angle by Monster is huge. Double kill, trying to get the triple. Oh my goodness. You gotta befriend that Monster under your bed, otherwise he's gonna make you pay.
Yeah, that was a great play by Monster because a lot of resources from GBX was sent towards that hill to desperate it, right? They were going to lose that hill, but they said, we're going to give it one last shot. The thing that you do there is you give up the control of the tower, and that's exactly what GBX have done here. Not only did they lose the first hill, now they got to fight for tower once again.
1-0 lead in favor of Rush Hour at the moment here, and GBX do a great job of clearing out the back tower side before really committing towards that hill. They know they need to slay out. They know they need to guarantee their kills, and that's exactly what they do. Now Tusk, one more player to deal with who throws a nade right at the skull of Tusk, but still 3 down, go Rush Hour. GBX should be scoring here. I think they won the camo. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah, this camo's huge. It just depends on how Collect plays it. Like I said, every player has a different way of playing their camo. I'm curious what Collect will do here with it.
About to be a sneaky play here by Collect. Waits for Falcon to catch a different angle here.
Oh no!
Falcon just doubles back for a second. Surprised he actually didn't hit that stick, but you know that Rush Hour really wanted to activate through that camouflage, and it's gone. And so is Last Shot's head.
Oh man, that's just so unfortunate, right? You see the guy top tower, he doesn't look towards you. You're like, oh, I'm safe, but you can see that camo. You just look around. You know, when that camo is up, these players are going to be looking very closely for where that camo is, and he gets caught out there.
Great shots by Last Shot. He's gonna force bound back. His teammates should come in quick for the cleanup, leaving Renegade by himself, and Renegade may escape with his life. Also, the spawning players now for GBX, so Renegade was the hunted, then becomes the hunter as his teammates, the reinforcements, come in, driving Rush Hour out, and things were looking very good for Rush Hour. Now Cycle, he's gonna have to win a 1v1, maybe a 1v3.
It's not happening. It's first cap here for GBX, but Rush Hour do have the spawns on the A side. Bound has 5 shots in the snipe though, so I'm a little worried if I'm the side of Rush Hour here. If Bound can hit his shots. That's 2 dead already. Now they push in.
We going down for both sides. A momentary 1v1 between Cycle and Falcated. Falcated with this QT could portal out. It looks like that's exactly what he does, but Rush Hour know where that portal's going to. They're immediately going to address this green side, address the big door side. Oh, but Collect. He's gonna get caught towards pillars. Falcated, instant transmission right into the hill, long enough to trade out his life. Rush Hour continue to score. Renegade with a huge pick, sniper in his hands, and you know that he knows that we know that he knows.
That's a lot of knowing. That's a lot of knowing, Tony.
Knowledge is power.
It is. You saw that trade was because Monster had the spawn on the big door or back A, I believe, so he knew that the hill would have been taken.
Wow.
It doesn't really help them, though, because Renegade's not missing shots at the moment, and Cycle's down to no shields as well. Renegade, my goodness gracious, GBX in full control.
Somebody done made a mistake on Rush Hour's side. You done woke up the demon. And you're gonna find out the hard way. That ain't what you're looking for. It looks like Last Shot. He's choosing violence. Last Shot takes down one. Monster goes after another, and although one shot, Monster will get spotted out. Camouflage still in the hands of Tusk, takes down 2 with it. Will it be enough?
Well, GBX end up going 3 down, so that will be enough. It'll give Rush Hour the spawns on the big door side and on B. Bound once again, though, gets a massive kill. That very first kill is huge. It's going to allow GBX to now push up, but unfortunately pushing up into a monster ball. Oh my word, 3 down GBX, a massive double by Monster.
The man's a beast, the man's a legend, the man's a monster, and you continue to challenge him. 14-9, 5 assists, and this should be Rush Hour closing out their second hill here. Again, a swing game number 3. This game 3 is going to be so important with the series tied up right now. But hold on. Rush Hour getting a lot of space over towards GBX. Now the slaves start to favor GBX. And Falcon is showing that he can go off with the sniper as well. Pops 1 in the body. Knows that he portals out. And A side is controlled by GBX. I thought Rush Hour were taking their second hill. I might have been wrong here.
Yeah, last push, and I don't think it's going to be enough time, but GBX got out of the hill for just a moment. Is that moment in time enough? It is 3 down for GBX. Tusk, the last player alive here to stop this, but no, he cannot. It is a 2-1 lead for Rush Hour.
My poor little heart can't take all this, okay? The back and forward is crazy. I'm like, oh, it's every Rush Hour show. Oh my gosh, GBX. Oh my goodness, Rush Hour. I'm freaking out. I almost fell off my chair like 4 times right now.
Wow, jeez.
3 down, go Rush Hour. Last shot gonna be the final player here, but he does have a sniper, so he's still dangerous. He still has to command respect from GBX, and Falcated, he's a bit disrespectful.
Yeah, please don't fall off your chair, Tony. I need my co-caster. It'd be really weird casting alone here. Renegade with another kill, though. 2 minutes left in this game. And GBX already 70% done with this hill. This is a very interesting turn of events here. They get in that hill and they don't let go.
Rush Hour needs to find a way to stop being the first one to go down time and time again. The moment they do is the moment you give GBX an inch. They take a mile. tied up at 2 apiece right now. Love that kill by Renegade. One of the toughest kills in the game. Let's be honest, man. The man, he shoots, he moves, he does it all.
Love this by Monster. Nice and slow, making sure to guarantee those kills once again. Guarantees 2 kills for his team, 3 down for the side of GBX. They've got Seaside, they've got the tower control, and they've got a bit of camo left to use. Never mind, it's gone.
Look at the way Monster's playing this angle perfectly. I mean, like, he's making sure that he has limited impact, like limited vision
Double kill.
on the enemy team seeing him. He's very mindful, very demure, if you will.
Oh, no.
Tied up in 2 apiece. Rush Hour, a ton of time here. Rush Hour getting dangerously close to taking the lead, but you know GBX, they come out in the clutch.
I hate that word so much. It boils my blood, and Tony knows that. That's why he used it. But I want to talk about the play previous. You saw when you were talking about Monster, they pushed up through cuts. I was not expecting that whatsoever, especially when they had that tower side control. Really aggressive of them to push through the cuts, and they ended up losing a couple 1v1s. They're still way ahead in Hill here, but a minute and 30 left. We'll see if they can close this out.
We see multiple members of GBX not only getting kills, but without any timing loss whatsoever, hopping in that hill. Renegade thought the Seaside was clear, but it was Cycle. Maybe got a bit of an off spawn there. Cycle loses track of Renegade. This is not the player you want to lose track of. It doesn't matter though. Cycle and Rush Hour will finish off their 3rd hill. Renegade tries to take height to avoid any kind of nade damage and somehow connects onto the last shot and puts Cycle on a stretcher as well. Collect, you better watch out. You're about to get put on a highlight reel.
Yeah, highlight reel it is. I mean, I just love the confidence out of Renegade. He's always had that type of aura, I guess is what the kids call it nowadays. He will challenge everything, and he will win most of those fights. He will win those challenges. And you see, with those couple of kills that he got, it's GBX now in the driver's seat with this hill, potentially going to tie up this game.
Let me tell you, man, the 9 kids that you have is the closest you're gonna get to the youth, okay? Ain't no shot that your 70-something-year-old self know anything what the kids are talking about, okay? Yeah, like, stop reading TikTok comments. You're pissing me off.
You gotta teach me.
I'm gonna teach you nothing.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that sucks.
GBX almost done with taking this hill. Collect does have a camouflage, but I don't know how much he can do. Well, a back smack is a good start. Falcated portaling out to avoid that damage. I thought this was GBX's hill, but Rush Hour are not giving up that easily.
Yeah, you're playing a dangerous game here, playing time, though. I mean, I guess you got to do it, but it's a minute left. Sitting in that hill does give one player's information away. You're just depending on Collect to hit shots here. That's what you need if you're the side of Rush Hour, but unfortunately, he's out of sniping.
48 seconds on the clock here, but GBX literally needs to just dip their toes in that hill, and with Rush Hour going 3 down, Cycle the only player stopping Bound from literally doing just that. There was a spawner over toward the big door side. That's going to be extremely important. Bound recognized the situation. That's going to dive in that hill. He's not going to make himself an easy kill. That was a heads-up play coming in from Bound. Again, the difference between great players and professional players. Is it enough, though? 36 seconds. They do tie it up, and now GBX have the tower side control.
That is the difference between players. You see how they play for the next play, right? Yes, they sent a couple of resources towards B to make sure to close out B, but they were already on tower for this next hill. Now we go into a potential overtime with 24 left. Regardless, next hill wins, and it's all because GBX got the kills onto B, but at the same time, they got C in tower control.
And look who has a plus 10 KD. Of course, it's the silent assassin in Falcon. I'm telling you, while everybody's paying attention to Renegade and Bound flying around and doing their thing, Tuster doing his thing with his in-game coaching, giving the play calls, it's Falcon just sneaking under the radar and just stuffing that stat sheet. So close to finishing out this hill, but Rush Hour do have the setup. If they could hold it for just 2 good rounds of slays, they could end up taking this hill and this game. Well, that's 1 round of slays. Can they do it?
It's up to Cycle here. I always put the pressure on the player with the power weapons in the power position. And guess what? He's got both in his hands right now. Lots of players take damage here. And it will be GBX that maybe go for that camo, but is there enough time to go for the camo and pressure the hill? I'm not sure.
Renegade was hawking that hill. Meanwhile, Psycho and Rush Hour are hawking the win here, but they're going down left and right. Monster and Last Shot both at the black screen, leaving Psycho by himself. Collect does as much damage as possible. Psycho's had to do the impossible. 3 quickly going down. I don't even know where Last Shot just came from, but he's alive in that hill. Bound has to hit the jump. He's ends up going to miss it. Rush Hour just 1-2. There it is. Oh my gosh. Rush Hour just absolutely stole it.
Can I quickly say that this is not the first time that Last Shot does a play like this where he saves a stronghold every single time something like this happens? It's because Last Shot stood in the hill in the last second.
I'm blown away. Like, you know, Bound missing that jump actually maybe benefited him because you saw it. There were 2 nades thrown at that jump up already. They knew exactly what was going to happen there, but massive plays by Cycle, massive plays by Last Shot, and what a scrappy finish right here out of the side of Rush Hour.
Oh my goodness. Dude, look at this. Cycle, that 1 kill might have created a bit of an opening. Did they spawn dummies? They must have spawned dummies. Not only Last Shot there, I didn't even notice. Monster was there as well. So even if Bound makes this jump and kills Last Shot, they must have spawned dummies, right? There's no way.
Look at the nades, though. Jeez.
Wow. That was way too close. I don't know, Psycho, Last Shot, they're all ready to take the win, guys. Can GB? I think both teams, I don't know if you've noticed their playstyle, but I feel like we're like watching an HCS major right now. The way they're playing these games, like they're on fire right now, Tony.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that's part of the reason why we like Trash Talk. Trash Talk's gonna bring out the best. You know, it means a little bit more. Like, okay, you're gonna come at me. Well, guess what? Watch what I can do. And right now, Rush Hour trying to prove that they can win. It don't matter who's on the opposite side. All these players that are in this lobby are professional caliber players, are professional players, and everybody got an ego, you know? You gotta protect that ego, baby.
Indeed, Rush Hour 1 game away from taking this grand final reset. GBX needs to come back.
I mean, I want to point out something. Callus, our beautiful observer in the chat, said Falcated had 8,000 damage in that game. Unfortunately, not enough. Rush Hour end up taking it, and what a beautiful way to do so. Can they do it again? I know a lot of people in the chat were begging for a game 5. You've got a little bit of maybe a late Christmas present coming your way.
I got a quick question. Did you say Callus, our beautiful observer, or he's done some beautiful observing? Because one is a compliment and one is you hitting on him, and I will call your wife.
Yeah, both. You can call her. She might like him too. Tony?
Snipe in the hands of Collect, currently 3-1 at the moment and protecting that green side. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a long haul push, and with that 3 down for GBX, looks like Monster and Collect trying to make something happen here, but it looks like 1 round of slays isn't going to be enough. They may just need a second one. Love that green box play, but did it land? No, it actually fell off.
Like my career. 3 down for GBX though. That's 3 down for Rush Hour, but flag being out for the side of GBX is going to be Last Shot, who takes immediate control of tower. He's going to have to fend off a lot of players here, and yeah, that's what I expected. He's going to go down pretty quickly here. That flag potentially dead in the water.
3 quickly going down for Rush Hour, and Falcade are going to take an angle here, blocking this courtyard side for just a moment. But they know if they slay out, they can spawn them right down there exactly where they want. But Renegade awfully aggressive through the Mauler side, and Falcade taking a whole lot of damage there. Bound has his back. Bound gets the kill, and Falcade will live to see another engagement. One he's going to get into awfully quickly because a flag is on the move.
I don't know. I wonder what it feels like to be Falcade. You have Bound taking that 1v1. You know he's going to win it. I don't know what that feels like playing with you, Tony, but I'm sure Falcade has a lot of trust in his teammate, and with that trust, he'll stay alive on the green for a long period of time and get rockets.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, I want to remind you that this is a bracket reset here, so now, I mean, GBX have already pulled off the 3-0 to put themselves in a position to win the tournament. But Rush Hour have taken the first 2 games here of this tournament, and now 1 game away from winning in the grand finals reset right now. Falcated making an absolute play. If Rush Hour got that overshield, it would have been bad, but Falcated might just be the baddest man on Empyrean right now.
I mean, that was beautiful. Using that rocket to make sure to get that kill on OS, just absolute phenomenal work. And the fact that he's still alive, 2 of his teammates are dead. He's still fighting for his life on the sword side. Now Bound going after his nemesis and monster. He ends up getting the kill onto him, and that's going to get Bound to snipe.
Last shot has a snipe as well. Hits him right in the shin there. And meanwhile, off-screen Tusk going at Cycle. Doesn't have the reinforcements that he wants. Last shot kind of backed into a corner right now. Renegade creates a distraction. Bound falls off the map. And somehow last shot ends up taking down one, and Collect goes after the second. What is happening right now?
I mean, if I'm Lash out, I'm like, someone help me, please. He ends up getting 2. Down to no shields, at least he connects on 1. But I mean, 2 players on both sides of that door has got to be anxiety driven. But he ends up making it work, and that's why he's one of the best. Still, though, Bound with the snipe down the top of tower, and he's not going to land any shots, but he's got 2 left to work with.
I'm still trying to figure out how Bound fell off the map. I guess we'll never get that answer right now. I don't know. Snipe in the hands of Bound at the moment here. He ain't falling off the map now. He got a power weapon. He's going to make something happen. Or maybe not, because the team ends up going 3 down, and last shot is going to be the one to pull this flag.
Oh, man.
And Bound's going to be the one to take his freaking head off. Trades out his life with Collect, and man, they're just freaking different, man. 3 down, and you make plays like that.
Yeah, it's just it's that low percentage play that I always talk about, right? There's a certain percentage at which you get plays to convert in your favor, and usually, most of the time, those 2v1s are going to end up in a 1v1 trade with you losing out. But if you're Bound or Renegade, it's just somehow they always find a way to win those 2v1s and give their team a big advantage.
I'm also trying to figure out how Collected Monster have no assist right now. It's actually infuriating. Like we've been playing like 7 minutes of this game, right? And 0 assists is crazy to me. But Falcated 13-6 at the moment, still tied up at 0 apiece. Some excellent shots from Falcated, and even better jiggle peek coming out of Monster. The man lives, the man slays, and still no assist.
I like the confidence he's playing with, though. Definitely making sure to chow those 1v1s. They push through, they get 2 down, but it's a 2v2 situation. And you would assume Rush Hour doesn't really move on the map, but guess who's moving on the map? It's GBX. They're already on the side of Rush Hour's base, even with being down in numbers, and this is how aggressive they are, but will it come back to bite them is my question.
Tusk currently one of 3 players in the entire lobby in double digits. 23 kills and 11 assists out of Tusk and Falcated combined right now. Quite impressive, if you ask me. A little bit of a prediction made over towards that S1 side. GBX still finding the kills they were looking for, as last shot going to be the final player alive on the map. Still with the body shot with that sniper, knows that the callouts are still coming in. Luckily has at least 1 spawner with them, but they're gonna have to fight off multiple members coming at them from GBX.
Yeah, I like the trust right there, though. Hits that body shot, knows it's going to get cleaned up. The comms are clean, and that's exactly what happens. It gives them numbers once again, but they're still stuck on their side of the map. And unfortunately, even with that numbers advantage, they're not playing very aggressive, and it just comes down to GBX playing some solid defense here. I like the angle by last shot, though. Just making sure to take out Renegade, who's in the sword, but he gets taken out as well by Bound.
Renegade was eyeballing that Bulldog. Awfully scary there, let me tell you. He stared at it for just a bit too long. Bound falling from the heavens. Taking down 1, tries to get up that lift, but Monster's so quick to take down the weakened player. As of right now, both teams just kind of trading off haymakers at the moment. But notice how GBX are off always, seemingly the ones that are on the offense, always the one that are kind of fighting Rush Hour on their side. Have you noticed that, Tim?
Yeah, there's it just seems like Rush Hour is playing very passive. I even said it a couple times. They get a couple kills. They have that numbers advantage, and you see GBX move up on the map with 2 down. I mean, you never see Rush Hour the ones that push up. Finally, we have maybe an OS and a snipe in the hands of Cycle. Let's see what they do with this.
almost reminds me a bit of maybe are they trying to play the way like OpTic played this map? I know OpTic played this map very defensively, like 2 round of slaves before it even pushed forward, 1 inch sometimes. But I wonder if maybe that's the strategy that Rush Hour looking to implement, I should say. Excuse me. It's working though. GBX now the one's coming off of spawn, and that's a huge slay coming out of Tusk. Cycle and Collect push up. Nades going down. Falcon the first one at the black screen. Bound could be next. Collect is on the hunt. Cycle is on the flag. A wingman medal being earned here for Cycle as another flag moving from Rush Hour.
Love this positioning by Cycle as well. Understands that that flag is going to continue to move. Wants to play slow on the flag side. Unfortunately, 2 of his teammates go down, so he's kind of forced to run this flag by himself, and I'm sure he's going to be very slow about it, but Bound wins another 1v1, and that'll be a dead flag now for the side of Rush Hour.
They say slow and steady awfully times, or I guess more times than not, win the race, but right now, from Rush Hour, they're back on defense. Back on their side of the map. Bound, Falcon, and Renegade. So quick to take space here. A one-shot monster may just be hunted down. Not sure how Collect got the backsmack onto Bound, but I promise you, Rush Hour are loving it. They needed it. Look at this challenge. Falcon wins that, but runs right into a spawning player, and that backsmack might have just won them that entire engagement.
I love, yeah, I agree. And I also love the fact that Last Shot is pushing forward, but he's got a Renegade with a snipe inside of their flag here. He has his location, which is good. You're going to see he's going to re-angle, try to get a different vantage point on a Renegade. Renegade's the big kill right here on the tower. We'll see if he can get him.
We go down here for GBX. As you said, Renegade, the most important piece that Rush Hour need to take off of the board.
There it is.
Huh? Not yet. Okay. You're a little early. Shut up. You're freaking no one likes to know it all. Shut up.
Well, it's most of the fight. The fight's so interesting right there, right? Because Last Shot, whoever wins that fight, that's going to be a bit of map control for them. Although they were kind of even in numbers. But yeah, Renegade going down here kind of frees up the map just a little bit, allows Collect to get these rockets, and like I said, things all change here because of that one play.
Rockets in hand to Collect. Oh my goodness. Dropping, was that both of those rockets? What a huge snipe coming out of Renegade. Overshield in the hands of Psycho. He's going to continue to get aggressive, but Renegade continues to take freaking skulls with that sniper. They're finally able to take down Renegade, but Rush Hour right back to spawn. Bound now has the rockets, and I think he has one more in the chamber ready to let loose.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? They end up getting the kill onto Renegade like they needed to, but they weren't able to get the snipe out of his hands. He comes off a spawn, gets the snipe, and makes a lot of things happen. And as you can see, it's 3 down for the side of Rush Hour. GBX being very aggressive on the map, or they were at that moment. Think maybe they backed off and gone down here. It's 3 dead for GBX.
1 minute. But it's still GBX on the offense. Bound, only player alive here, but Rush Hour have to take time out of their push in order to deal with him. By the time they're ready to push up, well, guess what? GBX are ready for them. Is that another flag being pulled? Wait, who? Renegade? Hey, it's all a distraction though. It all alleviates a lot of pressure that GBX were facing down. I guess I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, but the thing that's different here is GBX is putting, like, they're holding forward. They're being aggressive this time around. There's only 27 seconds left, so this next bit of time is going to be a huge factor, or we will end up in overtime once again.
Oh, I'm be honest with you. I definitely think his nade did more damage to him than the enemy. And Last Shot's famous for that. Let me tell you, Last Shot has some of the greatest nades in the business, but he has a lot of team nades and self nades. I watch his stream a lot. Nades are incredible, but he needs to just lock it in sometimes.
That being said, it looks like we are going overtime here, Tony, and obviously a must-win for GBX if they want to stay alive in this series, but very even across the board, which is interesting. That, again, a big sniper on Renegade. Sniping a player with 2 rockets is huge.
And the crazy part is Psycho had a little bit of overshield, and he also took him down while lifting up as well. It's actually crazy, but new game, new round, new opportunity, and same Collect, who's been slaying out literally all game long, secures the Rockets, puts his 28th kill on the board to go along with his 10 assists. And if they get these quick kills, that's what they're looking for, guaranteed kills, it could be a pull from Rush Hour. Sometimes these overtimes can go really quick.
Really great job by Collect. It was kind of a split in terms of the power weapons. It was Collect with the Rockets, Renegade, and Bound with the Snipe and Overshield. And Collect takes out the OS really quickly there, which only makes Renegade a target. But now Last Shot's got the Snipe in his hands, looking to make some plays.
This man's not
Double
real.
kill.
I don't care what anybody says. That man is not real. 3 down go GBX, and the spawners are being absolutely attacked. Collect is there, but that's going to create a bit of a split spawn situation. You got to slay out once again because spawners on the courtyard side and the Mauler side, and it's Rush Hour that are simply ready for it. They slay out. They should be able to keep this flag alive. Does Psycho. His teammates do have enough time to push up back on the map, but GBX have enough time to push up off a spawn. One shot Renegade over towards the flag side. Psycho somehow is staying alive. This fight could determine the game. This fight could determine the series and the tournament here. Monster the first one to go down. Bound rips a double kill. Falcated shuts down that entire push. 3 down go Rush Hour.
Psycho played that so well too. I mean, he delayed for his team. He stood on the flag inside of the circle to stop it from returning. Got a touch on it. Got Renegade, or kept Renegade down to no shields. I mean, he did everything in that situation. Max amount of damage, max value, and still they were not able to continue that flag. GBX is something else.
Hey, you gotta think to yourself, man, if you're Rush Hour, like, you gotta capitalize on that. It is tough. It really is, but, and maybe kicking themselves. No time to do that, though. Not right now. We're still in overtime, baby. 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and could be looking at a double overtime if things continue to go this way. A 2v2 scenario where GBX are able to slay out the third. A one-shot Collect caught out in no man's land right now. Falcated, aggressive, onto a spawning cycle. Flag has started to move here for GBX. Overshield and Rockets are coming up, and Renegade, I believe, has already secured the Rockets here for GBX. Oh my gosh. Off the top rope he goes. 3 down go GBX. And that's really fortunate for Rush Hour.
I really like this play by Falcated, and he gets a kill there, but I like the play there by the side of GBX to double up on that OS. You got to understand how impactful OS is, especially when it's a one-cap game. A good job, though, by Rush Hour to counter that overshield very quickly, and now, once again, Renegade with a snipe in his hands.
No teammates to work with. Is in the base of Rush Hour right now. Renegade is the most important player on the map, especially if that flag is able to make it through the long haul side. He deals with Monster, but Last Shot is there for the cleanup. Luckily for them, or unfortunate for them, I should say, Psycho goes down with that flag and is going to be returned. That was almost perfect for Rush Hour.
Yeah, just a great job by Renegade, though, right there, to take the attention of 2 to 3 different players and kind of allow that flag to get returned. Renegade comes off a spawn, though, a double kill out of him. And once again, continuing to snipe here. This is dangerous when Renegade has a snipe in his hands. A third one and another one. The spawn coming out from Last Shot. Oh my word!
Renegade absolutely shutting down Rush Hour right off of spawn. Psycho does get a slightly favorable spawn over toward the flag side, but it's too little too late. That flag is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a game 5.
Oh, wow.
Who wanted a game 5?
Double kill.
Everybody.
Because we got it, everybody. We're taking a look at some replays of those last shots by Renegade. Absolutely insane. So who is Renegade? What is Renegade? Where does he come? Is he human?
No. No. You know those drones that they were seeing around? Those are his. He's an alien. That's I don't know what to say. Like, the guy's nuts, dude. Like I said, it's the flip of a switch, and you look at his stats. They're 28 and 26, not crazy, but just takes over games, and that's what happens.
Looks like the teams are ready to just get this over with, guys. One more game. This one will decide who will win the Grand Finals reset and the HCS season off-season open number 2. I will say we talked a lot about Renegade, but Falcate's stats were also looking pretty good. He was hitting the 30s on his end.
Yeah, I mean, always in season 1, I've been calling that man the silent assassin, man. Again, it is crazy what he does in the stat sheet, and meanwhile, the entire game, he doesn't draw that attention. So you come into the stat sheet like, oh, snap. Falcate had just dropped a +12 with 31 kills. You're just like, where the hell did that come from? Because the entire game, everybody else is demanding the power weapons, demanding attention, and Falcate just continues to fly under the radar.
Here we go, everybody. Game number 5. One of these two teams will take the biggest prize of the off-season number 2 prize pool. Who will dominate in this last Slayer?
I mean, this is going to be a tough one. You see Rush Hour do get that OS right off the bat, and it's Cycle who here with 1 kill, 2 assists, 0 deaths, Tony. Make that 2 kills, 2 assists. Great start out of Cycle and a great start out of Rush Hour. 5-kill lead.
Weren't they supposed to remake another Rush Hour? I feel like, man,
come on, Lee. Come on. You didn't watch Rush Hour, Tony?
Oh, no, I watched it.
Oh, that was pretty good. You have to admit. That was good. I'd make a great Chris Tucker.
10-4 lead in favor of Rush Hour at the moment, and Cycle is 5-0 right now. A couple assists to his name and working a bit of a 1-2 combo here with Collect. Collect, though, might have gotten to a fight over towards the P-Door side, and Cycle's gonna have to trade out his life, but every trade will favor the team that's up 11-6.
We mentioned Cycle a couple of times coming alive in these games and really showing up as a player. What a game to choose here. Obviously, it's very early. This is nothing. The start of the game is a good starting point, but that's about all it is. OS coming up very shortly here. Last shot. Nice little double. Look at the flick on controller. I like that.
But I'm pretty sure chat loved your impression. I just want you to know that. I'm pretty.
Thank you. Thank you, chat.
I'm pretty sure they said it was amazing. Best one they've ever heard, actually. Overshield about to come up here. Tusk up high over toward the P side in Rush Hour. They're struggling to get up high on the map right now. The distraction that GBX is able to create, but Monster sneaks through and just barely is not able to secure that overshield. Now it's a fight, and one that Tusk is going to win, but ends up getting stuck. And the nades out of last shot, not only sticking the overshield player, but taking down Renegade as well. I told you, man, sneakily, some of the best nades in the game.
That was just beautiful by last shot. The fact that he threw that stick, you know, just knew it was going to hit, turned around, got another insta-splode on the second player, got that double. That was absolutely beautiful by last shot.
and then right after that, he didn't get stuck right there. He caught that grenade. Like he ran after the plasma grenade. I don't know what. Well, at least we know. You know, last shot he got hands. You know, he played football back in high school too. 18-17 lead. GBX have control, and Rush Hour are spawning into the reticle of a renegaded GBX.
Great job by GBX bringing this back, but it's going to take a bit more here. Good job by Collect to get that melee and put Renegade to red bar. The question is, can they kill him? No, he's going to stay alive. And GBX will take the lead.
A 3-kill lead at that. Switching on over to Tusk. It looks like Renegade's already pushed up over toward that P side, so Tusk wants to join him here. Meanwhile, is that all 4 players on the car? All 4 players over towards the mid-car side for Rush Hour, trying to fight their way off of spawn. They're going to push together. They're going to thrive together, but still down by 4 on Rush Hour.
Yeah, that last OS was in the hands of GBX, but it was melted entirely very quickly, for that matter. Next OS coming up in 9 seconds. And you're going to look for Bound and the rest of GBX to get that top center control. Usually a guy inside a window as well to assist on it. We'll see who's going to get this next overshield.
Looks like it may just be last shot and Rush Hour. When you're down by 4 kills, it's exactly what you want. slaying out, grabbing the overshield, and now it's time to identify where those spawners are and be on the attack.
Wow.
I'm bound to sit there wondering, like, how the hell did I spawn here? Did it just spawn in blue fridge?
Yes.
There's no way. There's no way.
There is a way, Tony. Come on, man. There's always a way in Halo Infinite. It happened, and he's still alive. I don't know how. Finally, he goes down, but all those scrappy kills, all that beautiful precision by last shot, and it's still tied at 31.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, the squad spawning in this game is crazy. Like, it's like, man, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm mad at that one. Tied up at 33 apiece, though. Tusk up high over toward the car side, gonna run into last shot and friends. 35 to 33 now. Bound aggressively trying to push out this red side. He knows there's a player there at Cycle that goes down, and GBX successfully alleviates some of that pressure, and more importantly, holding on to at least a 3-kill advantage.
Yeah, the thing that's changing for Rush Hour is they're getting caught out, isolated here. You saw a couple of kills. There was a 2v1 in favor of GBX. You can't let that stuff happen, and you can't let Bound go on a killing spree either. 39 to 35 now. The lead widens here for GBX.
Just 10 more kills needed here for GBX. Oh, Cycle was trying to stay alive as long as possible. He is spotted. Last shot does end up neutralizing the situation just a bit by taking down Bound. And now it's Rush Hour to have a momentary numbers advantage, but Tusk and GBX just don't care. They have the lead. They're willing to play for trades right now. Overshield is coming up. Rush Hour desperately needed.
This is a massive blunder would have to happen on the side of GBX for them to lose this game. It's pretty much locked in. OS could, do a little bit of something, but what a beautiful job by GBX to take over here in this game. 38 to 45 now. I'm not sure whose hands OS went into, but regardless of that, it's a 7-kill lead.
The duo of Cycle and Last Shot has been real. 31 kills between them, 7 assists to go along with it, but even that, not enough. Not enough to deny the overshield away from Falcated. Not enough to stop GBX from getting to that 48 kill before you get to your 42nd. And now the final kills are coming in. GBX, bracket reset with the sweep, coming in, taking it to a game 5, and taking your off-season tournament numero dos.
These guys are the number 2, guys. In case you didn't know Spanish, Tony just said numero dos, which means number 2. They weren't number 2. They got first place at the second off-season tournament. GBX are the off-season champions, sending Rush Hour, well, I guess Russian home. I don't know. They got their revenge against them, which is what they were looking for. They won a grand finals. Got a grand final reset, and here they are with the biggest prize pool of them all. Well, not them all, of the off season. How are you feeling, Tony and Active? But to Active, you said Rush Hour wouldn't be able to do it, and I guess it came true. But you got scared. You're a little scared, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna eat my word. I was gonna eat crow. Was that right, Tony?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen, but it's very close. I think GBX played a phenomenal game. Mm-hmm. I think Rush Hour started off that game 5 really strong, and I expected them to take the whole thing, but GBX comes through.
Yeah, I think my takeaway and on Rush Hour's side is I was just excited to see the Cycle Last Shot duo here from Shopify Rebellion side. We got to see some incredible plays on their end. Last Shot was popping off. Cycle got an insane flow in one of the games as well, like many of the games, Tony. It was just not their off season, this event. It's GBX who ended up taking it. So congratulations to GBX here on this second off season tournament.
Oh yeah, congratulations, and honestly, and thank you. I want to give a thank you out to the GBX and Rush Hour players, because that was an incredible grand finals.
Yeah.
I mean, GBX coming in and absolutely steamrolling Rush Hour in that first best of 5 series, but then Rush Hour, kind of a bit of an underdog story, saying that it would never give up, never quit, and we're able to kind of bounce back from that, even bring us into a game 5 scenario to begin with when it was looking bleak. Like it's him. I mean, you said it. You counted them out because it looked bad. Obviously GBX still the champions, but that was a really fun grand finals from start to finish. So not only GBX are the champions, but I want to give a huge thank you to you guys for putting on a fantastic show.
Yeah, thank you guys for hopping on over here, and thank you everybody who has joined us today, either lurking, chatting, sending up all the stories, the fantasies in the chat. Guys, what an incredible day! What a fun grand finals, as you two said it as well. Any last thoughts before we go and take a nap, get some food?
Final thoughts here. I mean, again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, LVT, for allowing me to do what I do. Thank you, Active, for being an amazing co-commentator, and Ali for being one of the best hosts in the business. Chad was amazing. Like I said, the competitors were incredible. That grand finals was amazing. And Tim, just don't ever do an impression again, ever in your life.
Wow.
Just let that die.
I literally sat here and was just, in your heart swells up. You're like, wow, he's being so nice. And then he has to hit me with something else. You do it every time. Just say something nice and end it. But
I did.
No,
I did.
I
said one of the best co-commentators in business. I love casting with you. Your impressions suck.
Look, what we need in a friend is an honest friend. So I appreciate it. I will cut it or practice more. I got you.
It was so good that I didn't even notice that you were actually doing it.
Wow. See, Tony? Take some lessons.
I thought I was here with Chris Tucker.
I thought it was just your voice.
Yeah.
I thought it was Chris Tucker.
Hey, it made me laugh. Well, that's pretty good.
Hey, that works. That's what it's all about. Smiling, right?
Yeah, I know Chad liked it. Chad liked it, Active. Me too.
I hope so.
If you guys want some more Halo, though, the next off season will be next Sunday. And if you're sad and alone on Saturday, then there's the 1v1 showdown, which I heard Active was also signing up for to go up against Tools. He told me that you were gonna finally go 1v1 that day. And you guys can sign up too. The link will be posted in the chat at some point. So go sign up for the 1v1 showdown. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and leave you guys with some awesome highlights of today's day. Go ahead and check out the Saturday event, the 1v1 showdown, and the next off-season tournament, number 3 on Sunday. So write that down in your calendars. And we'll see you guys on the next one.